Do you struggle to come up with nice recipes for your children's lunch boxes in the week? Well, I do. Do you sometimes feel that you make something delicious for the kids, but also want to do something for the rest of the family and end up standing in the kitchen for the whole entire day trying to prepare some great stuff for lunchbox ideas? Well, I've come up with a new recipe. It's the first time I am trying it today, so I'm sort of just going to wing it, and I will share the recipe with you and you can let me know what you think of. So we want to add in something healthy but also tasty for our kids' lunchboxes. Now, if your kids are anything like mine, the moment they see anything green or a texture like onion or mushroom that they don't like, the lunchbox comes back with everything in. So no point in making something delicious. So I've come up with a recipe that we can try, and then I'm going to show you how we can change this recipe so that the rest of the family can enjoy it as well. So here we go, simple and easy. So first of all, I am going to put the oven on 160 degrees for about 30 to 40 minutes. It's the first time I'm doing this recipe, so I will give you a more accurate time at the end of the recipe. However, I do prefer baking at a lower temperature for a little bit longer if need be. So I have these cute little, tiny little bite-sized cupcake holders or muffin pans. I'm only going to spray 3, 6, 9, 12 of them. I'm sure that should be enough. I'm going to do that, and that size is perfectly fine for my little ones because I have a 4-year-old and I have a 1.5-year-old. So let's see how far we get with the recipe. So first of all, I am going to, in my mixing bowl, I am going to crack in 3 eggs. Okay, so you can see what happens. Okay, and I'm going to just sort of whisk them up just a little bit. Just a little bit. There we go. Okay, together with this, I am now going to add in 3 tablespoons of plain yogurt. I'm using a full cream double yogurt. Okay, and I'm using generous tablespoons of yogurt. So I really like to incorporate my yogurt in so many recipes because it definitely comes in health ways, so many different ways. So this is a probiotic as well as a fermented product, and you can just do so much with a simple item in your house. And we definitely use it for gut cleansing, and we want to incorporate it into our families as well as our children's daily lives without them even knowing that the item is in there. I'm also going to now add in a teaspoon of boveral. You can do Marmite or boveral. So I'm just going to add this. My children actually like eating boveral, and so do I. And there is some salt and extra other nutrients in here that really are so good for us. So I'm adding that in as well. Kind of just mix it up. For those of you whose children don't eat it, they won't even know that it's in here. So I'm just going to give that a good mix. Right. At this point, I am now going to add in, I weighed this ham. It's normal sandwich ham that I bought from Checkers, and it was a few slices that I had left. So instead of wasting it, I chopped it up finely. My kids enjoy eating ham. It's a good source of protein, and this I weighed before I chopped it up, and it is 70 grams of ham. So I am tossing this in. Just make sure we get everything in there. And just give it a good mix. Okay, then for the cheese, I also grated this and I measured it, I weighed it before. So this was 100 grams of reduced fat cheese, and you can easily get reduced fat cheese from Woolies. I struggle to get it anywhere else, but I do know that Woolies do supply it. Okay, so once I've added all of this in, now the moment you add in onion and you add in green peppers and mushroom, the kids go, ugh. They don't like the texture of onion, they don't like the taste of it, and the moment you add in any spices and they see anything green, then they go crazy. I'm not going to add in a lot of salt. I'm using Himalayan salt, and I'm just using a pinch because we already have Marmite in, and this cheese also creates a little bit of salt. I'm also just going to add in a pinch of paprika, just a little bit of paprika, just so that there is a little bit of something. And then I am now going to add in a sachet of sweetener. I'm currently using Equal, and this is equivalent to 2 teaspoons of sweetener. So you can decide if you want to add this or not. But the reason why I add this, and I'm sure for those of you that do watch a lot of my recipes, I add in a lot of boveral or Equal, any sweetener based product to my recipes, is because it adds a little bit of sweetness to the recipe, but it's so little that you don't actually always notice it. But our brains and taste buds are so set in tune that we want to have a little bit of sweetness, and that's why we crave and love junk food so much, because there are so many hidden sugars in junk food that we don't even know about it. But unfortunately, our taste buds spike up and they are fully aware of all the sugar. So it's sort of fooling the taste buds just a little bit. We're adding in a touch of sugar. Okay, so I'm adding that in. Then I'm going to add in 2 cups of, definitely not 2 tablespoons, that's not going to work, 2 cups of self-raising flour. I'm just going to put this in. I don't sift these items, it takes too long. And I promise you the outcome is going to be the same. So, okay, that is it. 2 cups of self-raising flour that we are adding in there. And now I'm going to just mix this in together. Okay, it's going to be really dry. Really dry. Okay, so over here I have gotten 200 mils of water and 200 mils of fat, low fat milk, and now I'm going to add in 50 mils, so let's just check on this one, 50 mils of olive oil. So I'm just going to squirt it in there directly. Okay, just going to give it a bit of a twist. And now I am adding this. Start with half of the mixture. I will show you why. I just want to make sure. Remember, it's my first time doing this recipe. So I just want to make sure before, if that will be enough, and then I will show you what we will do with the rest of the mixture a little bit later. Okay, so half of your liquid I have added to this recipe. Okay, so it's not too runny and it's not too thick. You can easily scoop this into, just put that in there, you can easily scoop this into your small pan. Let's get the mess away and out of the way. Perfect. So I also find that the moment I make large recipes, halfway through the week, the kids don't want to eat it anymore because now they have had enough of this. So I try not to make too many. You can freeze them. It definitely will freeze really well, but I wouldn't say to freeze it much more than, or much longer than a week. Okay, so I'm just popping this in here. Just filling them up quite nicely. That one just has a little bit too much. I was looking at the camera while I was filling this. Okay, so let's just pop that in. So basically these are like little bite sizes, if you want to call it that. Alright, that's going to be too much. These small ones are quite difficult to get the same. Alright, so that is for the children. I'm just going to put that aside. Now, for the next recipe that you're going to use, I think we're going to have enough for a full pan, so I just want to do a proper spray so they don't stick. So we've already added the ham and we've already added the cheese. My word. So now I had a little bit of leftover broccoli. Also a very good item for gut cleansing as it is loaded in fiber, but if the kids see this in their muffins, they are not going to eat it. But if your children do enjoy this, you're welcome to serve them some as well. So this is 100 grams of very finely chopped broccoli that I am going to add in here. And then I also have half a chopped onion. It was a medium onion, so half a size medium onion chopped. I am also now going to pop this in here. I am going to add in, up to you, some parsley, dried out parsley, and I'm also going to add in a little bit of pepper. I would say that is up to you. And I'm also now going to increase the salt just a little bit because we are adding in ingredients. So now we are going to end up sitting with quite a thick, dense batch again. That's why I said let's see what happens, and then we will be adding in the rest of this. Okay, so let's just do half again. Okay, so I've done half again. We don't want to overdo it. So let's have a look. Okay, there we have it. It's perfect. Okay, so now we are going to scoop this into our muffin pans. This recipe can work as a lunchbox option. It can definitely work as a breakfast. And it can definitely work as a lunch or a quick snack, a 10 o'clock snack. So let's see how far we get with this one. I think we could just fill them up a little bit more. It works out to about a scooped tablespoon and a half. So if you have some green peppers or all your leftovers from the week, you can definitely chop it up and use it in this recipe. It will work perfectly fine. Okay. Right, we are getting there. I just want to top up a little bit on here. I think we can add a little bit more. There we can add a little bit more. We don't want to overfill them, otherwise they sort of bake over. And over here. And that is perfect. I am going to pop these into the oven. I'm going to put them in the oven for 30 minutes at 160 in my oven. Let's see what they do, but I will give you a more accurate time as soon as I have taken them out. And then as you can see, we have not used the full amount of liquid, so I am going to recalculate this liquid while I have popped this in the oven and waiting for them to bake. And then in the recipe description section, I will give you the correct quantities of the liquids. So our muffins are ready. They smell and look delicious, and I'm sure your family are going to enjoy them as well. So I did do a check on the time, and I said to you I would get back to you on the correct time. However, I will add it in the description area as well for you, so you can try these at home. And I would absolutely love to see your photos, so please share your recipe and your photos with me as well. The time that I did was at 160 degrees for 15 minutes on the small ones, the little bite-sized ones, and the bigger ones I did at 30 minutes. So halfway through I took these out, and then I just carried on for the next 15 minutes, and they are perfectly fine, even though I did open the oven halfway through. So I am going to test this now. They are still really, really warm. So it's a bit crumbly and steamy. Yeah, I think this is gonna still be a little bit hot, but it looks delicious inside. I enjoy having fat-free cream cheese on everything that should have butter instead of eating butter. It's definitely lower in calories, if you wanted to know. It's a fermented product, so it's very good for gut cleansing, and I just love it. So I have sort of just learned to eat cottage cheese or cream cheese instead of butter. So you should try it as well. So good. And it's a source of protein also, so you're increasing a bit of protein. This is so good. I'll just add some more. You've got to try this, it's really good. Happy eating and enjoy your muffins. Good food and family keep us together. So happy baking.